To reach your destination, turn left. But if you want to turn left, turn right. But if you turn right, you gotta turn left again. And the cycle keeps going on. You go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And then you go backwards, and then you go front. But when you turn around to the U-turn, you go around the U-turn for an hour. And then you go left, left, right, 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 left, right, left, right, 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 left, right, backward, forward, north, east, south, west. Never eat your waffles, everybody. But you gotta head right, left, and you take a U-turn back to the police station and back to your house and do the whole entire cycle again. But this time, you do it different. You do the whole entire cycle again twice. But then when you're done doing the whole entire cycle again twice, you gotta do it twice again. When you're done doing it, the whole entire thing twice again, but you gotta do it twice even more. But when you're doing it twice again and twice and more, you go right, but then you gotta do the whole entire cycle again. But you go right and left and right and left and right and left and straight and forward and backward and do the whole entire cycle again. But if you don't want to do that, then you just gotta go right. But if you want to do that, then do the whole circle again. But then you go right into a circle, and then you go left, and then you keep on going forward for an hour. But then you go left, right, left again, and then you do it all over again. You do the whole entire cycle again. Don't forget it. But we're not done. You gotta head to the police station close to you, and then head to the gas station. You go left, right, left to get to the gas station, and then you go right, left, do the whole entire cycle again to get the gas station. But this time, you go backwards back to your house, and then you go backwards, left, right, again and again and again and again. The cycle will keep going on. But this time, if you get out, but this time, you do the whole entire cycle again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 times. And that's it, but we're not done. You still gotta head to the bank and rob a bank, and then you gotta go left, right, left to get away from the cops. But you're not to the ball stadium yet. You gotta do the whole cycle again, and then you go to jail. But you gotta escape jail when you get into jail, because how are you gonna get to the ball stadium if you are in jail? But let me show you how to get out of jail. All you gotta do is find your toothpick and bang your head on the door, and then you die. But you gotta do a whole entire cycle again in order to not die. But that would be impossible. Actually, no, because you gotta die again in order for you not die again earlier ago. But for some reason, there was a time machine inside your locker, and they go back in time and do the whole entire cycle again. But then the time machine does the same thing, and then you go back in time to do the whole thing again. But then, time to prevent your jail again. And then you go back and forth, and the whole cycle repeats itself. But this time, you're not done, because you're not even at the ball stadium yet, because it's impossible to get to the ball stadium if you're stuck in an endless loop. But you gotta do the whole entire cycle again, because that's how life works. But that's not it. We're not done talking about the GPS. We gotta go left, right. But in order to get out of the jail cell, you gotta find a time machine in your jail cell. They always leave it there. But then you bang your head on the door and die again. But before you die, you gotta go back to the time machine and do the whole entire cycle again. But this time, it'll change because you did something else different. Because instead of dying before you went in the time machine, you almost died, but went in the time machine before you even died. But this time it'll change, because then you'll be able to knock your head on the door, and then the door will break, and then the police are after you again. Then you steal back your car, or steal somebody else's car, GTA style. But this time you go right, left, right again. But if you do that multiple times, then it's your end. But then you go back in time again and do the whole entire cycle again. But in order to get out of jail, you gotta do the whole entire cycle again. And then something different will happen. You'll bang your head on the door, but then you gotta do the whole entire cycle again before you die. But then you're almost at the baseball stadium, but you gotta go left, right, left, around the circle for an hour, and then you're at the basketball stadium. But this time, you miss it. because you're not allowed to go in the parking lot because all the parking lots were a no parking zone. But in order to change the no parking zone, you gotta do the whole entire cycle again in order to get your time machine back. And then you can just go to the time when they added that parking lot sign and say, hey, no, don't add a parking lot sign here. In the future, I'm about to park here. And they're like, okay, wow, how inspiration, like, then you'll be able to park there. But this time, you don't even park because you even forget what you said. And then you didn't even notice that the basketball stadium was even that. But then you go the whole cycle again, and then you cry about it because you forgot a whole about it. And then you go back home. You gotta do the whole entire cycle again. Don't forget it. But this time, you don't go to the basketball stadium. You don't do any of that. Because you forgot what you were doing. You forgot what you were doing again, you coward. But this time, before you get to the basketball stadium, you gotta do the whole entire cycle again. And when you're at the basketball stadium, you're there. But this time, you're in jail because you barely even got to the basketball stadium, but it's the same jail you went to. And then you go back in time and do the whole entire cycle again. But there's a twist. Before you go back in time, you gotta hit your head on the wall and then go back in time. And then do the whole entire cycle again. And then do the whole entire cycle again. And then the whole entire cycle again. You coward. If you don't want to do that, you're a coward. But you'll be stuck in jail. But so then you go back in time. You go back in time again and again, and then it will change. Then you go back in time again. This is the last time you go back in time. But then you escape jail again. Then you finally get to the basketball stadium. And then you're home free and you're done with your journey. Only not all. When the basketball stadium is done, you still gotta run home without a car and do the whole entire cycle again and then backwards. You gotta do the whole entire cycle again, backwards though. And then you're done. What an inspiration poem. You have to do this, I'm serious.